Good day everyone, this is Storming Thunderhead and I wish you all pleasant weather and smooth flying. And as the title suggests, this is an ace in a day, and I'm flying the 109 F-2 on the Finnish Virtual Pilot server. Once again, I am on the Finnish Virtual Pilots Discord. This time I'll be flying with Botan, an Australian. Now at first I was not flying with him because I spawned at an airfield that was quite far away from the front line, but he spawned at an airfield that was further south and was closer to the front line. So it took me quite a while to get to where he was. And by the time I did get there, he was flying in a 109 F-2, just like me, to try and gain aerial superiority over on the enemy side of the front line. The reason for that was because he had been flying a 110 previously, but got shot down while flying towards the enemy's front depot to bomb it. I didn't know it at the time, but I'd only taken the 15mm cannon and not the 20mm cannon. But I was still able to claim one kill, even with the reduced firepower.
If planes are available, obviously, which they are.
Are you fighting over the temporary airfield right now?
Temporary airfield in right-hand climb.
Okay.
Climbed up to 1,500, flattening out now.
Yeah, I see another plane below me. Thought it looked Russian. Yeah, he's heading towards the temporary airfield. Someone just crashed. Man, there's just never-ending action over here.
Right, I'm dragging 321, bandit on my 6.
Yeah, I see you diving down now. But I'm still quite far away. I'm 20 seconds out.
Sorry, I missed all that. I'm in a gentle right-hand turn, climbing.
Yeah, it's okay. Closing in now. No cannon hits, but a lot of machine gun hits. Alright, I'm off.
Braking back in.
Yeah. I've got a yak on my 6. Or Asin at least. Yeah, he's close. I'm going to do something here. MiG.
What's your direction?
North. maneuvering right now.
Are you on the deck?
Almost.
Visual. Are you smoking going down?
Yeah. He's broken off. Ah, no, I've
Right,
got another one of my
roll,
6.
block
Oh,
and
great.
break. Two of them.
Yeah, too late. I got sucked down.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, it was an I-16. And boy, was I lucky there. That was a close save. I think I landed directly on the front line or on the enemy side of the front line. You can see that I've marked a place out there on the map, and I think that's where I bailed out. Somewhere there. So after all that, I took off once again, this time from Elizabethinskaya, but that was when I realized that I'd only taken the 15mm cannon, so I had to land, take the 20mm cannon, and take off again. But this time, the accident was found directly over our airfield. Apparently there's an enemy fighter or something spotted here.
Yeah, there is a single there at Elizabethinskaya there somewhere. I'm taking off from Serviskaya now. Do you fly offline as well, or is all your work online?
So, what was that?
Do you fly offline as well, or do you mainly
Yeah,
fly
I actually
online?
fly mostly offline. Okay, I'm about to dive down to this western here at the airfield.
Roger.
This guy's pretty brave.
Kill him for his trouble.
Yeah. I was on a 190.
What was that?
I just wish I was in a 190.
Oh, okay, yeah. Amazing aeroplane.
Yeah, now there's like 3 climbs up to me. If I was in a 190, he'd be dead. Man, this guy's tough. He's just not going down.
Have you taken the 20mm?
Yeah, I have now, yeah. He's just taking so many rounds of them. Man, he's still flying.
What sort of plane is it?
Black 3. So, it is a tough plane.
Aeroplane. Very tough aeroplane.
Okay, now his engine stopped. I am directly in the engine this time. But he switched his lights on, so that means I might be getting a couple of lessons on my 6. Okay, so I'm now going to have to head back. I'm really low.
On wheels up, heading towards Krasnodar now. Nothing is pinging, so
yeah,
no
I'm at
contact.
0928. I just realized where I was. Okay, I'm over our tank spawn and I see an IL-2 there. So I'm going to attack him. Oh, and that's a 110. Bunch of 110s down here. I have no idea what's going down here. This is... I see these 110s maneuvering against nothing.
Roger that.
Ah, now I see who is the raid fighter here. Oh, I think it's like an IL-2.
I'm gonna have a break and be back on later. Good chatting with you, mate. I'll see you next time.
Okay, see you. And now for the 4th kill of this particular day, and I have to admit, it is a nice, smooth, clean kill. The target is an A20. Fortunately for me, the A20 turned on his navigation lights, and because of the way of how bright they are in IL-2, I was able to spot him quite easily, and I was able to track him from there onwards. Now I have found the A20's tail to be very weak, and that's because it only takes a few cannon rounds to rip off the elevators and the rudder, and that throws the aeroplane out of control. Although it is possible to aim for the cockpit and try to snuff the pilot, it is more difficult to hit, especially if you are attacking from behind. Even though I've activated the in-game recording, we will not be able to see the external views, and that's because the files were unfortunately corrupted. So here I'm just diving down on him. I am being careful not to overspeed. As I get closer, I just start taking careful aim. I squeeze the trigger, get really good shots into his tail and fuselage area, and as I look behind myself, I can see his tail falls apart and he enters an unrecoverable inverted spin. About 20 minutes later, I'm over the front line again, at about 5.5 kilometers high. Here you can see some scratches on the recording. I didn't see these while I was flying, but they are an indication of what is about to happen. So here I've seen a plane. I don't have a positive ID on it. It looked somewhat Russian to me, so I did decide to dive down to have a better look. But this happened. My screen freezes and I'm brought back to the desktop with the grim realization that IL-2 has crashed. This was an unfortunate indication of the status of my computer's hard drive and its memory chips. About 15 minutes after IL-2 crashed, I rejoined the server and I took off and I patrolled around our front depots. When I got back into the game, it did seem that everything was operating smoothly. I didn't encounter any more stutters or jitters, and I was able to claim 2 more kills without any problems. And speaking of claiming more kills, this clip will show the 5th kill of the day. Like I said previously, I was patrolling over our front depots when I saw this PE2, which embarrassingly enough I mistook for 110. But it's also partly because of the skin he was wearing. This particular PE2 was wearing a grey coloured skin, which makes him look very similar to the 110. And also, I didn't get close enough to make a positive ID. I didn't want to lose too much altitude in case it turned out that the enemy spotted near the front depot was in fact a fighter. So unfortunately, because of that mis-ID, this PE2 was able to make, I think, 2 runs on the target, but luckily I was able to shoot him down before he could drop the rest of his bombs. In this clip you can see one of the major flaws of the 109 F2, and that is compressibility at high speeds. As I'm diving down onto the P2, I'm having major difficulty in controlling my plane. So I actually have to go down in steps and stages, others I'll just overspeed, lose control and go splat into the ground. So because I'm having to be careful here, it does mean that I take a longer time to get down there. And like I said, the P2 was unfortunately able to make a few bombing runs before I could get down there and shoot him down. But at long last, I was able to make it down to the deck where the P2 was, and I have to admit, my marksmanship here was better than I thought. So here, I'm diving down on him as he's making yet another attack. I pull lead, fire my guns, and I get some really good shots into him. So after that attack, I just look back over my shoulder, just looking around for enemy fighters if there are any, before making my second and final attack. Here I start firing from afar, and that's because I want to avoid the rear gunners. I get some really good shots into him, and he explodes. So that's quite nice. So here I just check 6 again, as I egress from the area, and I begin to climb back up to altitude. A short while later, after I shot down the P2, I was flying fairly close to the front line, and as you can see, we are nearing the end of the day. The sun is quite low in the west, and I have just enough time to claim one more kill. This time my target will be a Lag 3, and you can see him there on the deck flying south, and even though he's that low, I'm still able to spot him. Here you can see some anti-aircraft guns firing at him, and I begin the pursuit. Just continuing the dive here. Here I can see another plane. It looks like the 109 F2. And now the Lag 3 is pulling in onto the 6 of the 109 F2 and begins to get into a bit of a turn fight. So here I just high yo-yo. I'm just trying to lose some more speed and basically maintain a good position from which I can attack the Lag 3. So here I'm diving down now. Unfortunately he does turn, so I have to pull lead, squeeze the trigger, and hope for the best. And I end up killing him. So once again I'm just taking 6 to make sure there are no other enemy fighters diving down on me, but it turns out that there were no other enemies around. So that was the last kill of this particular day, and I do hope you enjoyed this video showing off the 109 F-2, and believe it or not, these were in fact my first sorties in the 109 F-2 in multiplayer. Not bad, eh? So once again, I would just really encourage you to let me know what you thought about the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, but please do leave a comment. Like I said previously, I will try to respond to those comments as soon as I can. So if you have a question you want to ask, don't hesitate. Please ask it. And until next time, keep clear of thunderheads. And until next time, keep clear of thunderheads.